Welcome, friends, to the final pre-E3 2018 edition of Unlocked. It's IGN's Xbox show. It's the world's #1 Xbox show. We've got plenty to talk about because E3, it's unofficially started already. We've got plenty of announcements to discuss. Coming up on this week's show, we'll talk about the big rumors surrounding Playground Games, the developer of Forza Horizon, and what Microsoft may have in store with them coming up, as well as big price cuts on the entire Xbox product line, including the Xbox One X. So we'll talk about that as well. Plus, those aforementioned game announcements. We've got LEGO DC Supervillains, Team Sonic Racing, possibly Hitman 2 as well, and Assassin's Creed leaked again. What a surprise. Some release dates getting thrown out there for games later this year as well. So much to get to. We'll cover it all here this hour. I'm Ryan McCaffrey. I've got Brendan Tyrell to my right.
Hello.
Alana Pierce.
Hey.
Miranda Sanchez.
Hello.
Great to be with all of you. So, E3. We're leaving.
What is E3?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
I've been working on this since February, and as we get closer, I'm just like, finally.
There's a thing this week where it's like everyone's announcing their games early and things are leaking, and it's like, no, let's be real. E3 is just 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like pre-E3 anymore.
So every morning I get on Twitter and I look up E3 2018 in the search bar, and I search through all the top tweets to pull stuff for our E3 wiki.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy seeing how the volume changes like between yesterday and today. Like I sat there for like maybe 30 minutes yesterday. Today it was like an hour and a half. And because there's just so many more people talking about it, and like smaller developers announcing that they're going to have things at E3 too, which is really exciting.
It's
And
a really
just,
smart way to do it.
yeah, like just seeing that like fan excitement there is just really cool too. Because it makes me excited.
I say this, I always say this, pardon me if I've just said this a million times before here, but for me, E3 is the video game industry's Christmas morning. Or actually, you know what? Hanukkah might be the more applicable thing because it's but it's like a week long.
It really is
every
12
day,
nights.
New presents. And it's great. Like it's just like, oh, what cool new announcement did Microsoft get me today? What's Rare got? What's this one got? So
I don't know.
I love it.
Is Hanukkah like? Is there 1 or 2 days in Hanukkah where like you get the good stuff? Because I feel like E3 is like a slow trickle, and then it's just like 2 days of just everything is amazing, rather than socks
Well,
and
yeah, it's like
pencil
Sunday
erasers.
and Monday are the days where it's like crazy.
The press conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, the major press conference.
But I should mention, we're not going to have an episode of Unlocked next week because we are at E3, but the 4 of us
We're doing it live.
are doing our live pre-show and post-show for Microsoft. I just wrote the pre-show script yesterday, so I'm going to be talking about Halo 6, what we think is coming from that, Gears.
I'm on that, right?
Yeah, I'll share that with you
all
guys
4 of us
as soon as I have it approved by the producers, but I've planned it out, so I'm really glad that the 4 of us get to do it.
Me too.
Everyone can tune in and watch that live. I think we start at 12:30.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That's you're mostly correct. We will be taking the post show, so the analysis,
That's
our
right.
immediate reactions. That will be episode 350.
Yeah.
Next week.
It's also split up. So
I
it's-
can't
yeah.
promise you when I'll be able to get it uploaded on the audio side. Please just join us live, watch on video.
We'll all look so fancy.
Well, it's true. There won't
Be
be
wearing
no Halo
jackets.
t-shirts
T-shirts.
We'll be wearing makeup.
Yeah.
Have little mics in our ears.
You could use a little today with this,
All right,
two-faced sunburn.
I kind of
you've
was
got going
wondering
on.
like how long it was going to take.
You were the one that pointed it out to me, so.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
just wasn't
because
gonna say anything.
it's cripplingly embarrassing. So thanks for. No, I'm just.
I can't tell, so you're fine.
No, you can. So like, I went to the DMV
you
yesterday. I went to the DMV yesterday, which is Department of Motor Vehicles, if you don't know, and it's just the worst place on the planet. It's hell on earth.
As evidenced by
Yeah.
the
I mean,
hellish
we get very
burns on your
tangential
face.
here, but I know that Jonathan Dornbush went to the DMV recently and told Andrew he'd be there in the morning, and it was there literally all day.
Yeah.
So we had a meeting at noon yesterday, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get there at 7 a.m. and I'll be in time for the meeting. And Ryan says, sound good. I'm like, hey, taking a little longer than I thought. Be there for the second half of the meeting. I got there at 7 a.m. I left at 5 p.m.
It's insane.
I spent an entire day at the DMV.
Do you know that you can make appointments?
I did, yeah, but it was one of those things I had to get it done before E3.
Ah.
So I was in line.
appointments.
I was in line outside in the hot Oakland sun for like 4 hours. So the right half of my face and neck are burnt to hell.
Hey,
It's
y'all,
got an E3 glow. It's fine.
No left,
wear
yeah.
sunblock. It's really good for
It'll
your face.
it'll look
Wear it
good
every day
when you
anyway.
get to the show.
All of these are great tips if I knew what I was getting myself into. Clearly did not. So
But we're all going to look glowing. And
one
We'll
way or
use
the
makeup.
other.
It's all good.
Yeah.
yeah, we
It'll be
also
fun.
like I don't know if you guys do the same thing where I just tweet a storm. I just tweet a lot. During
gosh,
E3
yeah. I'm
glad you
conferences.
brought
I
that
don't.
up.
I
Yeah.
don't.
A
Yeah,
little.
so I was actually going to say, please follow all of us on Twitter if you don't already, just because I mean, I know when I come out of an appointment, I'll usually just fire off a quick something about what I just saw, and then depending and then you can read more. I'll go into much more detail on IGN.
It's
so
also maybe for you guys as well, it's also generally the easiest way to find me at E3. Like if someone tweets at me and is like, "Hey, where are you? Can I come say hi?" Then I will usually reply on Twitter more so than anywhere else. So
that or we'll post, probably you and I at least post things on Instagram. Like I like to use my Instagram story a whole lot, so I'll probably be posting there a ton during E3. So check that out.
I always start out trying to like live tweet because I'm genuinely like E3 when you're in the room and you're watching the conferences. It is one of the most exciting parts of the year. It's
great.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I always start like, this looks awesome. This is great. And then it's Andrew's always like, no one can handle this story. I need you to write it. So then I set my phone down and I start writing. And that's usually the last tweet of the afternoon.
People have asked, do we have an official meet and greet this year?
No.
Do not, correct? So.
Yeah, basically, there's not enough of us and not enough time. That's basically what happened. Is we were going to try, but we don't. But we might be able to organize something on the last day if we have.
Yeah. So I would say for those of you who are attending E3, and if you do see any of us, feel free to say hello.
Yeah, we have a booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our
booth is open this
It's
year.
open,
You can watch us do interviews.
That's true.
So there's interviews that you will be interested in that we can't talk about.
Yeah.
But you can come and actually physically watch them in our booth. So
For the past couple of years, it's been in glass. And this year, it's not in glass, but like interview segments are generally 15 minutes long. So that 5 minutes between is a great time to like wait.
we're in the West Hall, like kind of a little bit back.
Right near the front, like the second row deep. I would only add, just like if we absolutely would love to say hi to you. If we are in a rush to get to an appointment, please don't take it personally, because that does happen during E3.
Sometimes
but I know
someone will be like, "Oh, you want to take a photo?" And I'll be like, "Only if you physically run with me."
Yeah.
So there are lots of photos of me literally running during E3 with people like.
But no, every year a lot of great IGN fans do. I get stopped and said hello to a lot of E3, and it genuinely like warms my heart because
if you see us, please say hello. Like seriously, don't be nervous. Like
it's really kind of uplifting too.
Yeah,
because we've all been working for like 16 hours at that point.
Nobody's
and
sleeping.
Yeah, and you're either super tired or super stressed out, and someone coming up and saying hi and that they follow you or read something you did is kind of a nice little boost at 2 p.m.
All right, so let's get to it. This first rumor, we'll see. I mean, this is definitely have to put the asterisk on it. It is a rumor for now, but it would not at all surprise me if we hear about this becoming official next week. Microsoft might have bought or be buying Playground Games, the world-class development studio behind the Forza Horizon series. Credit here goes to WCCF Tech, where they note that an update on Playground's company's house page. There's some British speaking here, so if, as far as the business terminology,
their house.
Yes,
dated
company house.
It's dated very recently, last week, May 29th. Lists Keith Dolliver as a new director of Playground.
Dolliver.
Let me put that into context for you. So. The company's house is a UK government website that holds details for all registered companies in the country. Dolliver is the vice president and deputy general counsel at Microsoft, specializing in mergers and acquisitions, per his LinkedIn profile. He has previously been appointed as a director of a number of other companies that Microsoft has acquired, including Rare, Lionhead, and Skype. So there is a strong reason to believe that a purchase agreement may have been reached between Playground and Microsoft.
Especially if this goes in line with the theory, it seems pretty likely that Playground are developing Fable.
Yeah, secondary team.
I don't know how the business side of this stuff works, though. Which is more profitable? Like, is it just going to net Microsoft more money if they buy the studio? We obviously know they've been closely working with them for a while. But.
I mean, I'm certainly no business expert either, but the reason Microsoft would want to buy them is to have presumably it's a better deal for them in the long term.
Also prevents them from working with anyone else.
That's the big
it's securing
one.
that exclusivity.
They can't go, if Sony dangles a better offer in 5 years from now after this alleged Fable project, that can't happen anymore.
Insomniac with Sunset Overdrive and then Spider-Man.
Exactly. That's a perfect example.
Yeah, but I guess it's also that, especially it happening now, Makes sense considering they've just hired all this new and very impressive talent. They've got people from Rockstar North. Like, they've got a lot of really impressive people working there now. So it's like, well, you guys have just secured a team who can build open world action RPGs seemingly. So we want to make sure that we have that team.
Well, yeah, you're totally right. I mean, if with the Fable deal seemingly happening and Forza Horizon is I think it actually is the single most critically acclaimed series
I
in all of
absolutely
Xbox.
think
and
Forza Horizon
deservedly
is
so.
the best arcade racer series ever made.
I agree.
And that's why it's like, if they announce a new one this year, I keep being like, how do they improve? I don't know how.
That's what we said after 3. Like,
How do you
the hard
keep
part.
getting
It's
better at this?
It's
crazy.
just different locales at this point.
No, but they do improve. Like, every time they make improvements, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, they
how
find
did
a
you
way.
think of that?
I think really talented developers like for Playground find a way.
I wonder if they kind of like hold something back. Like, sometimes they're like, no.
Maybe, or
put
there's
this in
like,
the
or
next one.
Well,
maybe somewhere along the line of development they could see an improvement and be like, hey, well, it's too late to put this in, so that's for the next one. Hold it for the next one.
And
Yeah,
we'll,
there's-
like, if there is one this year, which we're all just assuming because it makes sense,
absolutely
it will be the first
assuming it.
Xbox One X Forza Horizon game as well.
no, 3 retroactively got all
Retroactively.
the
Yeah.
enhancements.
So it would be basically the same. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, they could approach the development cycle with it more in mind. I'm sure
True.
they knew about it back then anyway. But
Yeah, because I learned this from going to Playground back for Horizon 2 when we unveiled that. Playground and Turn 10, like, basically, they share a tech pipeline. They share that engine, and each of them sort of tweaks it a little bit for their use. You know, Motorsport, it's closed circuit tracks, 60 frames. And obviously Horizon open world. So they do each need to use it for a little bit of a different purpose. But, you know, one added, rain, one added snow.
and of course, the ocean is shared with Sea of Thieves in the Microsoft Extended Universe.
Yeah.
That's
MU.
actually a
If
thing
you
they
look out
said
on
to
the
me
horizon.
in my demo of Forza Horizon 3, though. It was, you know, it's the same ocean physics
Well,
as Sea of Thieves. So.
Interesting.
The real
I'll
thing.
be honest, if the next Horizon game doesn't have a Kraken or a Megalodon, then I'm going to be a little
So yeah, does the
pirate ship
ocean
races.
turn red if you like drive out far enough and start getting creepy?
I like that.
That'd be cool.
I will say that knowing that they share the same tech makes me super excited to see Horizon on developed specifically for the tech in the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Because when I reviewed the Xbox One X, Forza Motorsport 7 was far and away like the most beautiful game I'd seen on that console.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, I know there will be some Xbox fans with a little bit of anxiety if this comes true who think, oh, well, you know, Lionhead ended up dead, and, you know, their FASA studio ended up dead, and there have been studios that Microsoft has acquired where it hasn't ended well in the long run, but, you know, you have to believe that Phil and the leadership team at Microsoft has learned from the past and is smarter now, and will manage this. Would manage this acquisition if indeed it is the case in a much smarter, more long-term focused way. And if you've got Forza and Fable, I mean that's a lot of
Incredible studio.
yeah, that's a hell of a studio, and for Microsoft they become an extremely important studio because they're handling not one but 2 of your biggest.
Yeah, it also seemed like the issue with Lionhead was in part that they had hired a team. You know, it wasn't the original Lionhead. They had hired a team who had experience working on a game like Fable Legends, and then they realized that game wasn't really going to work. And it was like, well, we have all these people with experience for the thing that we don't want to make anymore.
I still blame. I blame Microsoft for that, for
it was
orienting the
their
studio
call.
in that direction. You know, so I don't know.
Well, that was back when we thought it would be the next big thing. You know, like Evolve came out and everyone was excited. I think servers for that are shutting down this week or
Hashtag
last
Yeah.
week.
4v1
It was
rip.
really recently.
Yeah.
You know, they tried.
But yeah, so we'll see. I expect we'll see if we get that Fable teaser that will make you cry next week, and if on the back of that, like Phil says, and we've acquired Playground, you know, we'll be buddies
I
forever.
think it'd be a great move for them. So.
I think so.
I think it's super smart if they're
Just makes
building
sense.
if they're building up that team and then making another team or building up a secondary team to make Fable and Forza. Like, this is Microsoft putting a ring on it, and that is super smart.
All right. So you can forget what I said recently on this very podcast about it's too early for the Xbox One X to get a
We
price
were
cut.
so wrong just last week.
But you know what? I'd like to think that we did it. We were responsible.
all you guys.
for
we
this.
definitely didn't do
They
it.
heard.
No, they totally had this planned.
Hold on, I'm gonna go update my Twitter profile right now. Responsible for.
They did it just to make me look bad. Because, you know, no,
Out
it's
of
fine.
spite.
Yeah, $50 price cuts across the board. These are temporary sales for the Xbox One product line. So yes, the Xbox One X, $50 off. So if you've been on the fence and $450 sounds a little better to you than $500, now's your chance.
Oh man, get off the fence.
I have to say, I love my X.
It's
so
an
good.
excellent console.
Yeah. It's my go-to for all third parties, and I even have a PC. So
Yeah, I mean,
That's where I'm at too now. Yeah.
it's like if you're probably going to play Red Dead Redemption 2 this fall. You could pick up an X
Definitely
for
play
$50
an
off.
X.
It's almost like you're getting Red Dead for free. If you,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you
think
can buy it later,
I'm
but
kind of holding off for a bundle because I'm
Yeah?
still one of the people on like my original Xbox day one.
Yeah.
It's still chugging along. It's like no reason to like put it down yet. I just
yeah.
want to keep it going strong.
I don't
We
even have
bond.
a 4K TV or anything,
Yeah.
but
But you
compared
can still,
to
you can absolutely see the difference still. Like
Yeah.
performance and
it's also just
there.
faster. Like,
Yeah.
everything is a lot faster, and I think like that.
I've seen issues with my original Xbox and like subtle things here and there with loading or just kind of performance dips here and there, which I don't necessarily see on other Xboxes here playing with our wide variety of consoles that we have. Not bad. It's just it's old. You know.
and do you really want to
really
play
hot.
Halo 6 on anything but an Xbox?
No, I want to look
One
really
X?
nice.
Really? I mean,
go
or
all in.
of course, unless you've got a super high octane PC, in which case,
Yeah, but
not?
even then, a lot of it comes down to the display, right?
true.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a One X at home, and like Alana was saying, it is now my third-party console.
Yeah.
And it is what I play everything on. And even like when I have to review games, and they're like, "What code do you want?" Well, let's see if they can get an Xbox code. Oh, it's just PC or PS4 right now.
get
We're
disappointed.
still waiting on the
Yeah.
other
Oh,
codes.
yeah, me too.
man.
I'm like,
It's
oh.
okay.
I mean, that might sound a little entitled, but it's honestly like my
Well, when you
it's
when
my
you have a
preferred
preference,
console. Yeah.
that's fine. I mean, like I think it goes to say it's like everyone here is happy to play any console because we're lucky enough to have access to all of them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're obviously all on the show, so we have a preference.
But
so
yeah, and I do have a 4K HDR enabled television that I, put a game in there and sit 25 feet away from my TV, and it is still just the best experience
Jealous.
compared to my, $1,500 PC that I built a couple years ago, where I enjoy playing games on it, but I have to sit in my office chair, and it is not as comfortable as sitting on my couch. So,
Yeah.
I do think $450 still sounds like a lot. Like a $400 probably would have been like, whoa.
Yeah.
It
Well-
still sounds like a lot of money. But I mean,
You're totally right.
it is, but it is a dip.
expensive,
It is like something.
but it is also a luxury item, right? It's
Yeah.
it's something to enjoy.
And not to be overlooked, if you just want to, like, maybe I hear from people on a regular basis that say, hey, love following you guys. I actually don't have an Xbox, but I love Unlocked. I love keeping up with what you've got going on. And so maybe if you have a PS4, but you're thinking, oh, well, maybe I want to pick up an Xbox just to get stuff like Sunset Overdrive or Forza
State of
Horizon,
Decay.
State of Decay. The just baseline 500 gigabyte Xbox One S is $199
Yeah.
with this sale.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty great. So not to be overlooked there. It's the
4K streaming.
barrier to entry is a lot lower. All right, game announcements. Yes, we're already getting them, even though it's the week before E3. Lego DC Supervillains had been oft rumored, now confirmed. It's great to see. Traveler's Tales, it's every time solid hit.
Yeah.
Every single time, good game.
They're really good at what
Good
they
to
do.
great game.
Just
Yeah.
so fun.
You talk about finding a niche. I mean, that studio has
the
has
most
it on
niche.
lockdown.
They have their own genre.
Yeah.
They do.
The Lego
Oh,
games.
it's a Lego game.
Family.
Yeah.
You know what to expect from them too, and they're just like consistent and fun and just funny too. Like genuinely very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the Lego game we played together at Judges Week last year in Santa Monica?
Oh, that was the Marvel superhero.
Marvel Superheroes. That's the first one I played in a number of years, and I was
Yeah.
like, God, I forgot how fun these are.
Well, not only fun. I mean,
Well voice acted.
Yeah, they're
Right.
they're well done. They're cheeky,
And if you're watching video, you're watching us on video. You're obviously seeing the trailer right now on the screen. But what also I think shouldn't go overlooked that really I guess took me by surprise when we transitioned to this generation of consoles is these games look gorgeous too.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, the lighting is amazing.
Yeah,
They
you
look
would
like the
think-
shiny plastic.
right, you would think like family Lego game. It just looks okay. Like no, they're actually beautiful.
I mean, they're
games.
animated to the same extent that the films
yeah.
are as well.
So I was gonna make that point just now too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
They
beautiful.
they look like a movie.
Also, Team Sonic Racing being announced for those of you who might be fans of the last one, which Sumo Digital, they're a good racing game developer. They've done good stuff for a while. So
and I confirmed
coming up.
with Sonic the Hedgehog himself.
Sonic
Yes,
himself?
I talked to Sonic, and he said it will be at E3 and it will be playable.
Really?
Thanks,
Wow.
Sonic.
No.
Well,
That
On
Sonic
Twitter,
the
you
Hedgehog
know?
Twitter account is really good.
Yeah,
it tweets with Elon Musk back and forth.
One
Like,
time I tweeted and tagged him and was
Very
just like,
good.
Sonic the Hedgehog isn't even as fast as the International Space Station. Like, it doesn't move as quickly as that. He's not even that fast. And they were like, wow, really, Alana? Like, it was like, just like really rude to me.
That's so
Whoever
good.
runs that a
It's really
social
good.
account has like no
so
fear.
much fun.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
really
I
good.
wonder if it's like, what if it's the same person that's like
Running Arby's.
Running
Arby's and
Wendy's,
Wendy's
yeah.
and Sonic the Hedgehog and
It's
like
just
all
this
the
depressed
all the good
16-year-old
accounts.
kid who's just like,
Just like this social media just wizard.
Yeah, it's the same person who runs We Rate Dogs. Like,
11 out of 10. All right. Also, this may have already happened by the time you watch or listen to the show, I'm not sure, but an image of what most definitely looks like a Hitman 2 logo has appeared on the Warner Brothers Games website. And if you'll recall, Warner Brothers recently entered into a publishing agreement with IO Interactive, who had negotiated their independence from Square Enix, from IDOS, and retained the Hitman IP. So they're now working, IO is now working with WB, and it looks like we may be getting a Hitman 2, which is great because season 1 was awesome. I still need to finish it. I've only
it was
played.
so good. I loved it. I think the fact that it was episodic robbed it of a Game of the Year consideration.
I don't think you're off base in saying that. Yeah,
It's
it
very
was. It's tough. Like they did release it as a full thing at the end.
Later.
I remember when that was
late.
first announced, when they were like, well, you can pay
Yeah,
whatever it was full price for it, or you
Yeah.
could. And I was like, well, that's a little gross to me because we don't know how good each episode is.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, they did offer the option to just buy it
think having this-
piecemeal
yeah.
as well.
They are all really like one of my favorite things about that game. It's even, do you call it a game? Yes, I guess. Is that you can make contracts for other people, so you can be like, okay, I'm going to pick a random NPC in this crowd. You have to kill that person. You have to do it this way.
Yeah.
So you can challenge other players, and some of them were crazy hard. Like you'd break in somewhere and you'd have to kill the 2 security guards at the gate when there's a crowd full of people.
Yeah,
and it's
so-
just like,
so
how did this? Because you have to like in a Mario Maker way, you have to complete it to be able to post the
Upload it,
challenge.
yeah.
Right.
It was so tough, but so much fun, and it just meant that they were constantly different. You could explore environments totally differently too. So
I would expect that a Hitman 2, it's probably going to be very similar in style and structure to the last one, just because it hasn't been that long. Like
Yeah.
I can't imagine there's going to be a radical departure here. It'll probably be
like it needs one.
more of the same, which is fine. This one, the reboot, went back to the old school way of just sandbox, have at it, and that's
Yeah.
what everybody wanted.
I'd like the
anyway.
narrative to be a little stronger than it
Yeah.
was. But all I will say is that don't have any kind of confirmation, but there is a partnership between WB and IGN tomorrow. It'll be 10 a.m. Thursday. We are streaming something with WB. I'm not a part of it, but there is a stream that people are suspecting is Hitman related.
You assume that we'll get this published tonight?
Yeah, I was like, that's
hope so.
real. That's it's real.
If we
confident.
don't, then
We'll see what it is.
I don't know.
I don't
What
know.
You're
could
just
it
doing
be?
like the shrug emoji right now.
If it's after Thursday at 10 a.m., just go to IGN and see what it was.
Also, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
Templars,
Aw.
man. They just
How
keep
did-
leaking
I
those
feel
games.
so bad
How
for
did
them.
it leak this time?
It was a keychain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a keychain in Europe somewhere. I forget exactly where.
Yeah.
They found it and it's just like, oh well, here y'all go. Next
Last-
Assassin's Creed. It's like how?
It really
Last year
sucks.
was a T-shirt. This year it's a keychain.
Jeez,
You
gotta
should
get
just
those
hold on
distributors.
merchandise. Just
Yeah.
much afterwards.
Got to make that money, baby.
I guess so. And I don't know. Like maybe they're just trying to get stuff ready for conventions and stuff, like to have merch ready to go.
I'm
But-
sure it makes them a ton of money.
Gosh, I feel so bad for that team because it's like maybe they can go 1 year without it. Just
love-
1 year.
I love every
have
year.
a surprise.
Every year at Ubisoft Communications, they must have like for Assassin's Creed, there's the envelope A and the envelope B. The envelope A being like, it doesn't leak. Here's our plan. Envelope B, here's our backup plan in case it does leak. Envelope A has been sitting on the shelf unopened for years.
It's a little dusty. It's still talking about Assassin's Creed 3.
But I think they responded to it really well. They posted a tiny little clip on Twitter that was someone being kicked off of something 300 style. So
This is
it
Sparta.
feels like in a way that they're prepared for it. Like you said at this point, that they have a plan in place, that they know what happens if it leaks.
Yeah.
They're experienced at this point. So
Unfortunately.
Well,
Yeah.
they should be, because every game in the
Templar.
series is leaked except for Assassin's Creed 2.
It's incredible.
I wrote the article.
Wow.
I researched it all. It was
Like even Brotherhood and Revelations?
they both leaked.
Wow.
Liberation, the originally the Vita exclusive
Yeah.
one,
that.
leaked twice.
So
Once on the Vita version and once on the console
I
port
think
afterwards.
just to explain also our like kind of disappointment with leaks is that because we understand like how much work goes into planning these
Not
announcements.
bad for those teams, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, maybe someone worked on it and they were waiting for that big announcement to see how people react to the full reveal, and then something comes out early.
Yeah.
And then
Well-
you kind of lose that moment. But I think in a way, though, you still have that excitement of, oh, we know something's coming. We know what this is. And then you can kind of start forming your ideas around it.
Yeah.
Maybe the best/worst example of that happened just last year, also with Ubisoft with Mario and Rabbids,
Yeah.
where it sort of leaked out and everybody was like, "That sounds really
People straight
dumb."
up didn't believe it.
Yeah, and then it turned out the game was fantastic.
I
I don't wanna
know.
hear it.
Maybe that's the
Everyone was
strategy.
like, I don't want this at all. This looks terrible. And then we saw the trailer and I was like, oh. Oh, no, I do.
I'm on that very clear-cut line of anti-rapid. So
Really?
Aw.
Really?
Weird.
You're not a
we have to have
rabbit.
this conversation
You're
again.
the
We don't-
purveyor of all things cute. at
Yeah, and
IGN.
they are not
No, they're
cute.
kind of garish.
They're gross.
Really?
They're like
Wait,
minions
okay.
are better.
They are like
than
So I was gonna say,
rabbits.
where do you fall on Minions? Because
Like Minions were kind of cute when they first came out, like when they were part of Despicable Me, and they're like, oh, they're kind of weird.
so they've
and goofy.
aged out of
and
cuteness.
then they like
They become a
full
meme.
on pushed them, and I was just like, oh guys. But Minions are at least cuter than rabbits. Okay, so I have.
Do you want to put
I have
together
a
a
lot of
feature on
thoughts.
this?
there's a
No,
hierarchy.
I have talked about this
What's that
many
D&D
times.
alignment?
and
Can we
I'm done
can
with
we
it.
wheel the projector in here so Miranda can present?
So
No, I would love that, like a D&D alignment of the rabbits, and it's
Yeah.
just like chaotic.
No, whenever people are like, oh my gosh, you're so cute, I'm just like, you're killing me.
Well, I mean,
I am dying.
minions are definitely chaotic evil, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, they're chaotic neutral.
They're chaotic neutral.
Are they?
Yeah.
They work for a bad guy,
I mean,
But he's not even bad.
but he was.
Eh.
yeah, but
kinda
they also have their own
Brothers
agency, right? Like they are minions and they work for an evil guy, but they operate under their own rules and achieve their own.
Yeah, they
sort
were
of
just like in a
desires.
jungle somewhere. And then he's like, hey, you want to work for me?
this hard left in the show is brought to you by DreamWorks Pictures Minions 4, inevitably to be announced at some point in
Yes.
time.
Remember that
Speaking of
Minions
which.
like tiki game or whatever?
All right, let's shift gears here and talk about the lemurs from Madagascar.
Instead
Well-
of talking
Okay, I
about the leak too much more, I wanted to talk about the game itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the way, Miranda, so Davide cried when.
no, I know.
When,
I saw that.
Yeah, when Miyamoto, but now he's crying again because you have said that.
He's
I
not.
mean, I'm sorry, they're not cute.
He's not. He just
didn't
has a
make them.
picture of you at the top corner of his mirror, and he's just doing curls into it.
the
Yeah,
rock, the,
yeah, Rocky 4. Yep.
It's okay.
He's training in a cabin somewhere in the
my
Alps.
goodness.
Anyway, I
ready.
really liked Assassin's Creed Origins. I gave it a 9, I think. I don't remember. I gave it a really high score, whatever it was. The RPG elements were great. It's a shame that less people played this one. It seemed like there was Assassin's Creed fatigue. This is continuing more of the RPG elements. I don't remember if they said it's set before or after. I think it's set after, but it's not a direct sequel to Origins, so it's a different
yeah,
character. It's not Bayek, but it looks really cool to me. And I like what they're
Yeah, I mean, I guess the
cool stuff. It being in Greece too.
the
cool
1 year
Star
off
figures.
was just an anomaly, I suppose. We're going back to
I was
annualized.
really hoping they'd take I think I probably said that on this show, that I was like, no, they totally want to do one this year. I was really hoping they'd go every second year from now on. But
Me too. I think that's a nice time in between each game to give those studios time to like work and really put their heart into it, and also to hopefully not make them rush.
well,
through them.
especially now that they're 100 hours long now.
Yeah.
Well,
Origins is really long.
It hasn't really hurt Call of Duty in the grand scheme of things
Yeah,
by
feels-
having multiple dev teams going
Yeah.
with a
That's
game
true.
each year.
I mean,
Well, to a lot.
Unity.
just like having that break, I think makes it a little bit more exciting too.
For us, sure,
At
but
least- yeah,
not
for
for the shareholders of these publicly held companies.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that this is going to be rushed or like boring or anything. Like we don't know anything about it.
Yeah, we don't know who's developing it.
Yeah, so
It's clearly not the Origins team.
No.
It's got to be somebody else.
Montreal, yeah. Well, that, to Alana's point, it's strange that they would have Assassin's Creed fatigue since this is the first time in a while that they've come off a 2-year dev cycle. But I'm stoked for like the open world RPG elements of it. I think when I first went to Montreal and did the IGN first for Origins, and the first time I saw it, it was just holy crap! This is a totally different thing than what Assassin's Creed is normally. And I think I like the direction the series is going in. I know a lot of people like the more linear, story-focused kind of thing.
I completely agree. I'm far more interested in Assassin's Creed like now than I've ever been.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because if Ubisoft announced an action RPG where you meet all these historical figures set in ancient Greece and it wasn't tied to Assassin's Creed, like I would be like, oh my god! But I think it's because that franchise is like
it has an identity. Yeah,
I mean,
especially if you played the first few games, like you know. Or you think you know what that is, but it has evolved so much over the years.
Yeah.
Enter Skull and Bones, right?
So.
It's Assassin's Creed seems to be that guaranteed franchise that Ubisoft can experiment with as long as they don't change the formula too much. It's still always good. And so you see things like Black Flag introduce stuff that they are now basing a new series off of. You see them in Unity introduce the co-op, which was very much a Ghost Recon Wildlands, a key part of that game. With Origins, they're going to RPG, and Odyssey, hopefully they take that a step further.
And now naturally we have large-scale sieges where you break into buildings, which is obviously modeled off of Siege. It's not a real thing.
For Honor.
For Honor.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. We'll obviously be learning more about Assassin's Creed Odyssey next week. Also, this week, stay tuned on IGN. We've been promised something more before E3 on Anthem.
Hey.
Which is BioWare's latest and greatest.
It's kind of weird because EA is like starting E3 on Saturday. So it's just like, why don't you just hold
Yeah, but they did that last year. It's like
fine.
EA doesn't
Okay.
give, like they don't care. And they're just like, hey, people are going to be in LA. We're just going to go a day early. And then they start releasing information early as well. Back to the point, man. E3 is 2 weeks long now, and
Really
EA is responsible for some of that.
Thanks, EA.
Not saying it's a
Happy
good or
about
bad
it.
thing.
No, it's exciting, but it's just also tiring. Like I'm
Oh
exhausted,
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
You know who is not a fan of EA moving to
fine.
Saturday? My wife. 'Cause,
The
like, you have to leave another day early and leave me home with this kid and dog all by myself for an extra day. And like, talk to Andrew Wilson.
Just bring them down.
Oh yeah,
That'd be great.
It is fun, of course.
can
That
have Daisy in the
E3
water.
is
Yeah.
longer. It's like a good event. I remember, of course, like watching and like TiVoing it back in the day and like getting really excited to come home after school or whatever and watch it. So.
Also, I don't know if you guys know her, but a friend of IGN, Andrea Renee, is actually hosting EA
Yeah.
Play.
Yeah, this is
which is gonna be
fantastic.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
I'm
really great.
so happy for her. She's a wonderful host. She's done stuff with us.
She's
in
worked
the
for
past.
IGN, yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen her. You've probably
She
seen
hosted
her.
some IGN stuff at
last year?
E3 for us
That's
the year
right.
before. Yeah.
It was 2 years ago. I did a conversation with her about the Xbox One S.
She used to be a very common sight on televisions in GameStops. She
Yep.
did,
Yeah.
she did their stuff for them. So yeah,
She's really good at what she does.
really
She's great.
Very happy for her. That's going to be. She's going to put on an excellent performance as a host. She's going to do a great job.
But EA's conference aside, super excited to hear more about Anthem because I just want BioWare to get it right. I mean, Andromeda wasn't bad, and I keep saying it, I'm like, guys, it just wasn't the same level of Mass Effect that we had, and that's the hard part of like having such high expectations because of the Mass Effect name.
Look,
And it was a
The
good game.
the
I thought it was-
BioWare name.
I thought
Yeah.
it was bad, and I didn't have high expectations for it.
I had a lot of fun with it.
I get
A
like
lot of fun.
opinions. I thought it was bad, but it's also like just the way it was written. And I'm really excited about Anthem. The things that I've heard about Anthem, it sounds really cool. The one thing that I have concern is that the lead writer left during the project. So it's like, what does that mean for how this ends up? And I don't know.
What does give me a little optimism is that Casey Hudson's back. I mean, I know he's running the studio. He's
is,
probably not. He might not necessarily be doing a lot of day-to-day things on Anthem, but he's obviously involved. And this is the original Mass Effect team at work on this, because there's the Dragon Age team. Of course, Andromeda was the Montreal studio.
The lead of the Dragon Age team also left recently, though.
No, he's now on Anthem.
That's what happened. He got moved up.
But yeah, you've got. I mean, Mass Effect 1, 2, 3, the core, that group. Inevitably, before I'm sure some have gone on to other things here and there, but that team is the Anthem team. So there's definitely reason for optimism there.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what they do on the heels of Destiny 2, because like we all have our complaints of like how things went down. Obviously, Bungie's still trying to improve that. I think BioWare has a really good opportunity to build on that.
All right, let's talk some release dates. We've got a few of those before we're going to get a lot more release dates at E3. By the way, that's just part.
Hopefully.
That
Par
makes
for the
sense.
course.
Oh, actually, yeah, hopefully. That'd be nice.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. If we get a Halo 6 teaser, if we get a Fable teaser, there might not be dates on those.
I don't imagine we'd get a Fable release date just because they were hiring as recently as January.
Yeah, not a. Maybe we'll be lucky to get a year,
I just
let alone a day.
I just want to tease. Just
Yeah, it's
I'm just gonna love-hate seeing 2019 pop up at the end of most of these
Everything.
trailers.
yeah. Next year seems like it's gonna be a big year.
we say that. I think we said that for this.
The
year.
last 3 years
Every
has
year.
been crazy.
It's the peak of this gen. I mean, this the
right.
generation is. We're just at that point where it's just awesome
twilight.
game after awesome game after awesome game.
It really is.
I was gonna bring this up earlier, and then someone changed the subject, and I didn't want to cut them off. But
Oops.
it was every year. I think, man, this has to be the biggest E3 I've ever experienced. Is it just me, or do you all feel the same way? I feel like every year E3 is bigger than
I
it
somehow
was.
don't feel that way.
I
this
don't
year.
either. No,
Really?
the
At all.
E3s that I consider the biggest are the ones that have the hardware.
I was going to say the same thing. I feel
Okay,
the same
that's
way.
fair.
Yeah.
That's
This one I
fair.
think has potential for really big things, but I feel like a lot of the big conferences already have shown their hand of what they want to talk
Yeah.
about.
Well, it seems like
Well, we know
Sony's maybe not even announcing any new games. Xbox
I
is really
think
exciting.
They will still
Excuse me,
small
Tetris
things in their-
VR.
That did
in their
happen today.
reels and stuff because they will
They will.
have those like look
Yes,
at all
they
these
are.
games. Here's
Yeah.
a really
I'm
fast montage.
I'm excited about Xbox because we have no idea what they're
But yeah, that's exactly the thing. Is like Xbox, I think, has the most potential to surprise. Potentially that and maybe Square Enix because we don't really know what they're showing, but we know a lot of what they're working
True.
on.
Yeah, I can imagine what Square is going to show.
Just
but
like well, Kingdom Hearts and who knows what else. We know a lot of their projects, but we don't know a lot about them.
Neo would be cool.
Too soon?
I'm going into Microsoft like having a pretty decent idea of what I think they're going to show, and then hoping to get blown away by something that I never expected. Because it's been
Which I get one every year. Every year I've had a moment from a Microsoft conference where I was like, oh, no way. Like I remember when they first announced backwards compatibility, I screamed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like every year they have something like that.
Last year was for me was original Xbox
Yeah, me
backwards
too.
compatibility.
yes.
I'm really hoping it's Fable.
Also, the last night was
Ori was
Oh,
announced.
yeah.
last
Ori was announced. Last
Ori
year,
was
right?
great
Yeah.
last
That was
year
a great
too,
moment.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I mean, Dead Rising 4 was pretty exciting just because I kind of loved Frank from the original series, but
Good. Fantastic.
fantastic. Every year there is there's one thing, and this year I'm hoping it's that new IP that I'm just like dragons in deep space or whatever it
It's
ends
like
up
that about
being.
Recall when we had that first trailer and then I played it and didn't like it so much.
Yeah.
I want to be completely floored by Halo 6. Like I want it to erase any doubts I have coming in because of Halo 5's campaign. I don't know if a teaser can do that or if it would take like a full demo or even, but yeah, I want to be utterly floored by Halo 6.
I want
That's what I want.
I want heart back in Halo. You know, I want to watch it and I want to like understand a character or like be so excited that there's a decision that has to be made or something that has to be done or some selfless sacrifice
Like
that needs
Gears
to be
has
made.
so much heart. And all
Yeah.
that.
It's
yes.
the last time I really felt connected to a character in a Halo game was probably Halo 3. Like Halo 4 was a super cool space
It's like
opera.
that in ODST.
Oh, sure, okay. I'm talking about like the main Chief series.
I agree then. Yeah.
Halo 4 was a super cool space opera, but it's like even though I read all of the files, the hack terminals in Halo 3 that talked about the didact and
4, you mean? Halo 4.
no 3.
Oh, Terminals in 3.
Yeah, the terminals in
Okay,
3,
yeah.
they talk about the didact and they talk about the librarian and, you know, they talk about that relationship and it's really touching. And Mendicant Bias talks to Gravemind and you have these cool text conversations. We saw that in Halo 4, but it like didn't carry the emotional weight of the characters we have known up until now. So like I want Master Chief's helmet. I want, you
I think
know,
they have to go hard on us.
I'm like, I bet
Yeah,
I
they
can.
have to bring it
I want
back.
the I bet I can stick it moment, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Locke wasn't compelling enough as a character to lead that game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
But I do disagree. I personally disagree on 4. 4 for me was the most personal Master Chief story. I'm not saying it was the best of the games, but I loved the very
The ending with
Master Chief centric story that Halo 4 told. Particularly that ending scene where he's just back on
Yeah.
the ship and just sort of looking out, like sort of wondering if Cortana's out there, and like I felt him on that
Did
one,
you?
man.
Yeah. I also noticed you didn't have it written in the doc, but
Yeah.
Polygon reported rumors of 3 Gears of War games being announced. These seem very unsubstantiated, so I just want to say
Wait,
totally
3?
rumors. 3. So one being the next Gears game, Gears of War 5.
Right.
Another one being Gears of War Battle Royale, which we just last week were like, I don't see it, and I still can't picture it. And the third being a Halo War style RTS.
I heard about that, like I heard a rumor. I have just nothing beyond what I'm about to say is that some XCOM style strategy
Right.
thing.
Oh,
That'd
I
be
could,
really
I can
cool.
100% see that.
I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it a lot.
Is that like, do you think
like
like a
that.
creative joint or?
I would think they'd have to
Maybe.
partner up with Coalition would have to partner up with somebody
Yeah.
because they're busy on
Yeah.
Gears 5.
Yeah, yeah.
And they also wouldn't have the team who would know how to make that kind of game necessarily. But I have no idea if that's going to happen. Like, I still can't picture a Gears
want
Battle
Gears 5.
Royale. I do too, yeah.
I'm just really excited for it.
Yeah.
Good
I love
cliffhanger.
that 2 episodes
fun.
ago we had a what if Halo 5 got a battle royale mode breakout, and this week we're gonna have a what if Gears of War 5 had a battle royale.
We're not doing that.
No.
Fine. We'll see if it happens. You never
Tune
know.
in next week when we say what if Forza Horizon 4 had a
What
battle
if
royale.
State of Decay 2 had a Battle Royale?
I would 100% play.
Yeah, it'd be great.
That would be wild.
Sea of Thieves basically is just one.
It kind of
Yeah.
is, but again, like that game works really well. It's like everybody duos is you and your buddy on a sloop, and there are 100 other ships, and you go to different islands
is
and loot
true.
them.
Can we
It
not
works
talk
so
about
you can use the map
I
that's
get
already
excited
there.
every time.
For Battle Royale
Hold on,
stuff.
hold on. I want to talk about this.
possibility.
I want to. This is really. This
Can
is
we just
sounding
bring it
really
back,
good.
Like a few years and talk about MOBAs
Craig
again?
Duncan, call us.
The only thing that really gets me about the Gears Battle Royale is I played Gears 1 semi-professionally, and I have played a lot of PUBG, and it just feels like if that existed, that would be the video game I was born to play. It would be like, I
Probably.
could do that. I'd be
Stay there
good at
forever.
that. And it's like, please give me that game, like just so I can like get back into the competitive scene.
A third person cover shooter battle royale.
I don't see it happening. I don't.
That would just seem so strange.
And the weapons in Gears and the way the maps are laid out, like I just can't.
It's not. It's weird to say that Gears is kind of clunky in a way. It's like heavy.
Yeah, it's
The
super
shooting
heavy.
is not. You're not supposed to be like running around a massive map.
Slow,
and
too.
traversing. Yeah, so it's like a lot more anticipated movements, and I don't know. I just don't see how that would work. But I'm sure they could figure out a way. People
Yeah.
smarter than myself.
I don't know. We'll see.
I feel like Halo would be a better fit for
Yes.
Battle Royale
agree.
than
But,
Gears.
you
It's
know-
not to say it's an either or proposition, but
I mean, like I said, we've seen the memes.
Also
Just
throwing this out there,
everything.
like
Everything.
not every game needs a battle royale mode, but man, some of them sure would work real well.
I would play the crap out of a Halo.
Dude, after talking about this, Sea of
Yeah,
Thieves
but-
Battle Royale is like the thing I'm most excited for coming out of E3 this year. Not going to happen, but oh my God, if they announce that.
Probably not gonna happen.
And there's just like a Megalodon is your red zone, or the Kraken pops up and attacks.
just wait
About
for
the
wait for
hunt.
year 2 of Sea of Thieves. It happens. It
Get the
happens.
vapors.
All right.
Fable Battle Royale, no.
Release dates. So what we've got laid out so far: Mega Man 11 out October 2nd. So for fans of the Blue Bomber, mark that on your calendar. I die a little inside every time I say this.
Here we go.
Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered Edition is out July 3rd. So, do some fireworks on 4th of July with
we-
destruction of Red Faction.
Can we get like a button with a bunch of sound effects on it, like Mad Money style, you know,
Yeah.
where it's like Revengeance. Eh.
The Price is Right fail horn.
Definitive.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Code Vein, the sort of Dark Souls-ish thing from the publisher of Dark Souls,
Namco.
Bandai Namco. They're marking that down for September 28th.
Interesting.
It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's
It is a
see-
bold move,
Let's
Cotton.
see how it pays off for him.
That's weird.
yeah, that's-
September.
So there you go. What else? We got a couple more things here.
Well, Telltale's.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you. Yeah,
one's
just
super important.
yeah. So the final season of Telltale's The Walking Dead, which has come full circle with Clem as the Lee figure, the adult figure with a who's sort of caring for a kid. That's going to kick off August 14th. So episode 1 there. I got to get caught up.
So do I.
I'm like halfway into season 3.
It's really the one that started it all, though. So I think having the closure is pretty exciting.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be great to see how if they can make this one hit my heart like
If
the
I don't
first one
cry, I'm gonna be disappointed.
did. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Just make me cry. It'll be great.
All right, should we talk a little Red Dead 2 real quick?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Alana, you've been keeping tabs on all things Red Dead.
Doing my best.
You could spend a lot of money on Red Dead if you want.
Meh.
Although we don't know how much, but there's a few special editions here.
Yeah, one of them doesn't come with the game.
think that's
That
fine.
old chestnut.
I think that's totally
how
fine.
much longer
I mean,
must
it's
we
not
go?
uncommon. The collector's box is $99, doesn't come with the game. So if you want to buy that with the Ultimate Edition, that would be $200 for the collector's edition. But the point of the collector's box is that it's merchandise for people who want the extra physical stuff. If you're watching the video version, you can see it right now.
Yeah. I think the idea behind these two is cool for those people who are like the super fans. Like you come out of the game and you like love it. It's just like I want more of this in some way to exist in my life. And here's this. Right there.
I'm just not, as a person who is a pretty big collector, I'm just not. I like the box a lot. I think we can learn some interesting stuff if we look closely at that puzzle. It'll give us some location hints. But the thing is, it's just so much stuff. I would prefer a statue.
There's no one centerpiece item there, right?
Yeah,
Would be
and
the
it's like the box. The puzzle's pretty intriguing.
Yeah. So I'm not going to buy this one based on the fact that it isn't like, a statue of like Marston on a horse would be the thing that would.
there's nothing for you to display. Is that
That's
fair to
pretty much
say?
it. Yeah, which is personal taste, of course.
Right, and I think maybe the appeal for other people could be that you could use things like there's a cool catalog that's like
Yeah.
in the Red Dead style, and then that
coin
map is really
is
cool
the
to
thing that I'm
display
like,
as well.
ooh,
Yeah,
that
so you
one,
get a
that
deck
coin.
of playing
Pins.
cards, 12
There's a pin
cigarette
set.
cards. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yes, there's cigarette cards and there's playing cards, so you get double cards.
A double-sided puzzle, a pin set. I'm curious how much this is.
It's $99.
Oh, they did say.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this one comes with the game.
No, that one
this
doesn't.
The collector's box does not come with the game.
Collectible challenge coin. Interesting.
So
okay.
then the Ultimate Edition is also
I don't-
$99. It comes with a bunch of content for, they say online, which to me confirms that it's going to be called Red Dead Online, which isn't that surprising, but they haven't really officially spoken
I mean,
about
they
the name
didn't
for
they
it,
didn't
so-
capitalize the O in online. They just
Everything's in capital, actually, as you can see. It's all yelling. Is this
very
the
excited.
Ultimate Edition? Yeah. So the bonus content is a Survivor's Camp theme, some outfits, rank bonuses, which I think is interesting, and additional
So-
weapons. A lot of this stuff, the thing on there that's most interesting to me, which is the talisman and medallion gameplay bonuses, and it's a photo of boots.
So,
Oh,
the
they're
odds.
Spurs.
right. John Ryan did a really great breakdown of
Mm-hmm.
all of this content too, and pointing out like how
Oh.
these are applicable to parallels with like GTA Online stuff and
Yeah.
like how they work and function, how they could potentially work
Awesome.
in Red
I
Dead.
should mention he's the only reason that I know any of this is because I had a conversation with him. This is all John Ryan's information.
Yeah, it's been really cool like seeing him break down. It's like, whoa, this reveals actually a lot about the gameplay that if you know anything about, like I said, GTA Online, then you can kind of infer some things from here.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you get a gang hideout makes me think that that will function the same way your apartments do in
Totally.
GTA Online.
Yep.
So you'll have a gang hideout or a camp, I believe is one of the things you could get to. The one thing I'm concerned about is it says bank robbery mission is exclusive story mode content, which, okay, so that means probably the gang hideout and the bank robbery mission are single player content. So I'm just hoping that there's other bank robbery missions, that isn't exclusive to that. I
Well,
hope
we-
that you can just get them in the game anyway.
We know there's console exclusive missions now, right? Like PS4 is going to be getting exclusive content in Red Dead Redemption 2. And I wonder if like they have X amount of missions earmarked for exclusivity, and one of them is for like, if you buy it from GameStop, you get this mission. If you buy it on PS4, you get these missions. If you buy it from Amazon, you get this one. So
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm wondering if that's what it is.
It's really hard to sell me on DLC. I don't tend to pre-order anything
Yeah.
anymore. I very rarely buy DLC. Like I almost have a policy against it. But if it's going to be heist or bank robbery missions, I feel like I'm going to have to do it. And I'm like, damn you. But I'm
Yeah, cool
hoping that
not
we
to,
just get
though.
them anyway. So yeah. And then the special edition, which I think is just
the game plus.
$80. Or
It's the game with I think some sort of collectible
There's
thing.
with
exclusive
with story
mode.
content,
Yeah,
not
so
the
it
online
has
content.
fewer. Yeah,
It was
extra
probably the
content
stuff that, yeah, it's the
downloads.
same stuff that we saw there just without the online content. And then obviously the regular edition is $60. But anyone who pre-orders also gets cash in GTA Online, which I think is really cool. For any level, if you pre-order, you get a bunch of money in GTA. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah,
girl.
I wanted to have JR on the show if we could have figured out how to do that today, because like he's done a lot of research into it. So like Miranda said, just totally check out the stuff he's written about it, because we can learn some stuff about
I really like that
Or
exclusive
special
map,
edition.
and I'm glad it's in every version of it because
I like
I
maps
feel
a
like
lot.
you could hang that up and then get real like Charlie Day conspiracy theory kind of thing with it. It's like
Yeah.
I went from here to here to here to here, and I need to
Yeah.
go. I like that. It's like I like practical applications for my collector's editions.
I wonder what kind of map it is. I always ask that question. Is it a cloth? Is it a cloth map?
I think. Hope.
Cloth is just so
Gotta be
premium.
It probably would be.
It's so primo.
Probably. It's Rockstar.
They wouldn't
got that
cheap out
quality.
with paper.
Yeah.
They
I
wouldn't do that.
really hate when you get a collector's edition and you unfurl the map and it's just like laminated plastic
And it's
paper.
already wrinkled.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
damn it.
Last thing this week, big ups to State of Decay 2.
Oh,
Over
man.
2 million players already.
That is crazy.
Killing 2 billion plus undead across all the
Mowed
obviously
down
online
so
connected
many
consoles.
zombies.
I believe it.
I really like this game.
It's very good.
Yeah,
fun.
I have a lot of fun playing it. We did talk about it a couple of weeks ago, the day before it came out, or the day before the embargo, I think, when you were out, Ryan. But I really, really enjoy it. It's tactical. It's really addictive because the thing is, everything that you do, you know what you should do next. I never have a moment of like, oh, what should I do? It's like I'm working on upgrading something and saving someone and getting rid of an infestation all at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about everything, and it's a lot of fun to play.
I'm the same way. When I played MMOs way back in the day, it was always like, how can I be the most efficient?
Yeah.
It's like, I know I need these 4 quests in this area, so I'm going to go do it. And that's all of State
Yeah.
of Decay. Like,
Yeah.
you have a list of things that you need to do, and you're like, okay, I need to clear an infestation. I need to go to a grocery store. I need to find some supplies.
Yeah.
And then I need.
Oh god, and
More
Maya's
ammo.
unhappy with me. I
Yeah.
got to take her out on a mission to
Nice.
talk to her and make
Kick
her
her out.
feel better.
Oh, she's
or you could kick her out.
She's
Yeah.
banished. Yeah.
Pick out the bad ones. Like honestly, I've been so obviously working on the guide. I have seen many traits, so many traits these characters can have, and some of them are
It's
just
exhausting,
so
right?
Some of them, it's
bad.
like just selfish.
Yeah, it's just like
really
you just
selfish.
kick them out. Like there's literally no reason to have them because then you could probably get a new character who spawns rather quickly that has
Yeah.
probably a better perk or trait.
I find like picks fights with others, and I'm like, enjoy your life on the
alone.
road
Yeah,
alone.
I mean, if you want an extra challenge, I think that is something kind of cool to
Yeah.
present. If you want to make it a little bit harder, because I don't think State of Decay 2 is all that difficult.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But
Fair to say.
But I do want Utopia.
yeah, but you can like make it a little bit more challenging if you keep those harder to please characters, and some of them just like permanently are tired or
Yeah.
have
The tired thing's the thing I find hardest to manage. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
at this point, it's nap for 2 whole days.
So
That's gonna be tough.
I've played.
He's got the sniper.
He
I
can't run
tried
away
to.
from things.
I was hoping to see if I could see if they like just pass out or something if they got completely exhausted.
You know what happens?
I have never got there, and
Oh.
I like ran around with the character for so long, and like their sim bar just gets super small, and like
Yeah.
that's kind of the only punishment you.
Oh,
It's like you swing once and you're just done.
Yeah, so like that's obviously dangerous.
Kind of hoped they would
But-
die.
Yeah, that's what I was testing.
Die of exhaustion.
Which feels bad, but I'm like sorry.
I think that's the point. Like, I mean, the devs told me like they don't want the game to be overly hard. What they want is you to put yourself in situations where you're overconfident and you don't respect the world around you anymore.
Yeah.
And so you get to a point where your character gets exhausted after swinging the bat once, and you're like, whatever, it'll be fine. And then you get
It's
ripped
not
in half
fine.
by a juggernaut. You know.
Yeah.
Those still scare me. I don't like them.
Oh my god, that.
Just run away every time.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's got to be deeper.
They were pretty small.
Whatever it is, you hear that around the corner, and you're just like, nope.
Nope, 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 nope.
So yeah, kudos to Undead Labs, and very glad a lot of people have played the game, either buying it or playing it on Game Pass. Big patch just hit this week as well.
20 gigs. I turned on my
Played it
Xbox to
since-
work on the wiki, and I was just like, what?
Have you played
boy.
it since the patch?
Yes.
Has it fixed some of the bugs?
Yes, I used to get this one weird flashlight bug with one character where it would just like go crazy, like just weird shadows would
Yeah.
happen, and that seemed to have been fixed, and just quite a lot of other just.
My biggest thing was zombies falling from the sky.
Yep. They
Has that been
spawn.
fixed
They
yet? Is that a
spawn like
bug?
45 feet in the
'Cause
air.
I like that.
I haven't checked yet.
I had that one a lot. I mean, it's kind of fun,
I was like, oh, they're coming.
but it does take you out of it a little bit, you know? You're like, oh, well, that's odd.
funny.
My favorite one.
Being airdropped, like, why?
My favorite one that we ran into when we were doing co-op is that you go to put your gun away, but for some reason it reads your weapon as like 4 feet up and 2 feet to the right. So your gun is like holstered, but it's like up here. It's floating around like
I've
it's
still-
your little buddy.
Like a
funny,
mag
yeah.
in Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go to pull it out, and suddenly it's in your hands, but it's like 2 feet over this direction.
Well, I found that all of the bugs are like Bethesda-style bugs.
Yeah,
In that, like,
yeah.
you know, you play Fallout and a dog glitches through a wall, but it's funny.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't have a problem with them, really. Like, I don't downgrade the game for it, because I'm like, it's mostly fine.
If it's
I know there have
not-
been some serious stealth bugs on PC where people haven't been able to get out of stealth, which sucks. Like, that's a problem.
yeah.
But for me, I haven't had any of
Yeah,
that
I
stuff.
found a lot of the bugs. If you just need to, sometimes you just have to back out of the game.
Just reload it.
And
Yeah.
it usually
Shouldn't
fixes
have to
it.
do that, though.
But yeah, it does suck. But for the most part, I think they've been rather cleaned up. I did have my first crash recently, yesterday. I was very sad. I was rolling characters, and then I finally got the invincible trait, and then my game crashed. and then
What is
I
the
sit there.
invincible trait?
It makes them a lot stronger, so they're, I think, more immune to infection, and they have just higher health as well. So they're not actually invincible, but they are much better.
I wonder if it's
Strong
just
and
like
confident.
the world's worst practical joke. You get the invincible trait and your game crashes. And you're like, guess not.
That's what it felt like. I've been looking for forever.
So yeah, if you haven't
Anyway,
played it, give
that's
it a
good.
try. It is it is a
for sure.
really deep, fun game.
And use our wiki. Check out all the traits.
Yes, do that.
And I know we just talked about DLC, but there is more content coming for the game in the form of paid DLC, is also as part of a season pass. And if you play the first game, you'll know the DLC packs for State of Decay. What Undead Labs does is they're usually not just story stuff; they're story stuff and. So like the first one for State of Decay 1 was Breakdown, which added just a repeating cycle of it gets harder and harder and harder. And, by New Game plus 7, it's like zombies are almost unkillable. So
Ooh.
there's a lot of
Sounds really cool.
yeah, there's a lot of like really cool stuff that they do with this sandbox. So keep an eye out on that stuff.
Also,
And if you liked it, check it out.
quick tip, if you have too many infestations, sometimes a pair of travelers will show up and be like, hey, do you want to go take out some infestations? So you get 2 extra people in your party. So you'll have a total of 4 people
Oh,
as
wow.
opposed to
Nice.
3
that's cool.
or just 2.
Excellent.
Thanks,
For them.
Miranda.
All right. Marketplace. There was no one sheet this week, but no, I
didn't
mean it's
see
the
one.
week before E3. It's
Yeah.
fine. Nothing. What's on Marketplace? What's the games with gold though?
June games with gold. We have Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia, June 1 to 30 on Xbox One. Smite Gold Bundle, which is actually quite a lot of value,
Yeah.
I believe, from June 16 to July 15 on Xbox One. Sonic and All Stars Racing Transform, June 1 to 15 Xbox One.
Speaking of
360.
Sonic kart
Speaking of
racing.
Or
Sonic.
Sonic.
And Lego Indiana Jones 2: The New Adventures, June
Speaking of
16
Lego
to 30.
games.
There's
Well,
your
it's
big
almost
winner.
like they planned these.
Yeah.
It's almost like they put some thought into it.
Does that mean we're going to get Smite content at E3? I guess so.
You never know. All right, let's do the.
Hey, just to wrap up, just
Yeah.
to follow up on this, right now Microsoft is having a huge digital sale, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like you can go I move my mic. Go check it out. There's incredible discounts on just so many games.
Deals, deals, deals.
Yeah. So go check it out. Seriously. I saw some stuff that I haven't bought yet, but I absolutely am going to because I've been waiting.
Excellent. All right, I've started to do this trivia question a couple times. Let's actually do it.
I don't know the answer to this one at all. So
All right, well, here we
doesn't matter
go.
when you ask.
You got to watch my content more often. No,
No,
you didn't
I
even
watch
work here
everything you
then.
do.
It's fine. So, Kendon from Lubbock, Texas, his gamer tag is Minuteman34, all one word. On episode 201 of Unlocked, which was the inspiration for Unfiltered, I, of course, had Phil Spencer, Peter Moore, and Seamus Blackley
solid
all
episode,
here. I will never top that. Literally, it's the best thing I'll ever do at this company.
I mean, let's
I peaked 3 years ago.
let's not sell yourself short.
No,
Like next year, it's like welcome
No,
to
it's
IGN
okay.
Unlocked. I'm joined by Barack Obama, Martha Stewart,
Obama, Elon Musk,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and Phil Spencer.
and Phil Spencer. Yeah.
the common through thread.
But anyway, Kendon is noting that episode. During that interview, Seamus Blackley, the creator of the original Xbox, tells the story of how the original Xbox, and thus the brand as we have come to know it, got the iconic green color. So was it Seamus's favorite color, and that's how it was chosen? Was it the same color as the DirectX logo at Microsoft? Was it the only color marker they had when drawing up logos, or did it happen to be St. Patrick's Day when the Xbox was originally being pitched to Bill Gates? So Alana, unsure. Miranda, can I go your way first? What do you?
So I know I listened to this episode, but I don't remember this part.
It's just
It's 3 years ago.
You would
3
think
years.
it was like some kind of extreme marketing strategy where
Yeah.
they worked really hard and were like consulted people. Like I know IGN had that like with our logo colors where they were like consulted people to be like, oh well,
After
you should maybe
100
not use red, but like if you use it in this combination, it's not too
Yeah.
aggressive.
Yeah.
It's-
After 150 hours of focus testing,
Yeah.
we've decided people don't like blue.
Alana, by the way, with a commanding lead right now, 9 points in the year's quest for this year's trophy. Miranda and Brandon tied with 5 apiece.
I feel like these
get
numbers
that.
get farther and farther
Don't
apart
think I'm
every week
into.
that we don't play Xbox trivia. I think you're secretly stealing Ryan's
Stealing
phone.
Ryan's phone
Yeah.
and adding a point.
check the
I don't
receipt.
think I'm
Their
gonna do it.
episodes are all there.
It's hard because I feel like it could be anything. I think C is the most impractical. I almost just want to go for that because
It's a good question
It's
from
interesting.
Kendon
It's hard
from
to
Lubbock,
imagine
Texas.
that up, right?
Good job, Kendon.
yeah.
Yeah, this is a cool little nugget of info.
Let's say C.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
Miranda going C. Brandon?
I actually know the answer.
Okay, so
Oh.
Alana.
I think it's more.
I think it's A or B.
I think it's yeah. Actually, I changed my answer. I want to be A. I don't want to do dumb things.
Wait, what?
Change my answer to A.
Changing to A. Okay, A.
Be
Alana.
practical.
I think I'm also going to go A. Just because I can see that being like a thing in a pitch meeting where you're like
Really.
you're
vying for that
enthused about a
color.
thing and you're like, this is the color I want. Like you could back it up.
It's like you were drawing it at home on a napkin and you used your own favorite
Yeah.
color and you're like, look, this is it.
It's A. I'm gonna go with A.
Okay.
I don't think it'd be.
What do you say?
So
Brandon?
I watched this episode because I did think it was crazy to have these three guys on there, and the answer, beyond all scope of reason, is C.
It is C. It is C. It was the only
Because-
marker.
Sorry
because
to
they-
slammed down my hand. But I'm so angry.
That sucks.
Because
Can we give Miranda half a point?
if
No,
I
I'm sorry, we can't.
Aw.
if I remember correctly, what happened was they broke up into teams and everybody grabbed like markers and supplies and all that, and there was only one color marker left for their team.
Yeah.
And so they were just using green.
That is true.
Crazy.
Seamus Blackley, who is on Unfiltered, actually got him in here solo.
Oh, yeah, he was on
Talked
recently.
A lot of
Yeah.
he is the guest for this month. Please watch that episode. It's really good because he's always he's a joy to talk to. I love that guy. I love him so much.
He's a really just down to earth dude.
He really is.
They
He
kind of all are. Like everyone I've met from the Xbox team has been awesome.
but the difference is
Weird,
Seamus
it's like they're
doesn't
people.
have Seamus doesn't have to sort of put up the corporate shield in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. He is just like he just says whatever. It's great.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So yeah, good job, Kendon from Lubbock, Texas. You stumped. You
Really
really,
pissed off the panel.
yeah, you really made people mad.
I actually really appreciate you.
If any of you out there would like to participate, I would encourage you to send in your Xbox-related trivia question. Send it to unlocked@ign.com. Please note your question. Note the answer and include 4 multiple-choice answers. We will not be playing next week, but we'll get back to that regular rhythm when we get back from E3. Okay, it is time to go to E3.
Woo!
Yeah.
I leave in less than. Wait, what day is this? Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
All right,
Wednesday.
72 hours from
Me too.
less than that for me.
I was supposed to leave tonight. Just
Yeah, I leave in 16 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm driving down tomorrow morning.
getting real.
It's getting real.
So-
and what's funny is I'm always dreading E3 and I'm always tired and the lead up to it is so much work. And then as soon as you get to LA, like
You
Oh, the
see it-
adrenaline kicks
dude,
in.
the
Yeah.
adrenaline kicks in and I'm just a kid.
For me,
See,
it's
like,
as
the
soon as I
introverts.
see the sign on the fig.
the fig.
Yeah.
And it's Fallout this year.
Yeah, which I'm very happy about.
So excited.
Yeah, good stuff. So we told you earlier in the show, you should follow all of us on Twitter for the up to the moment E3 highlights. And of course, please, I mean, seriously, like, just keep an IGN.com tab open during E3 and just F5 that bad boy on a regular basis because it's like there's just constant content going on there.
Yeah.
Following us on Twitter too can help you maybe parse through a little bit of what you're specifically looking for because
Yeah.
it is going to be.
We also have an event hub too for that. It's like
That's true.
IGN.com
Yeah.
/event/E3.
You can also always click on just the Xbox news if you're just interested in that. That'll help filter things a little bit for you.
Also, if you do follow us on Twitter and you don't care about E3, you should probably mute us. It's
Yeah.
That's true.
gonna be a lot of that.
The next
That's
couple days
true.
are going to be real.
yeah.
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at
big.
DMC_Ryan. Again, do check out IGN Unfiltered if you get a chance as well. I'm super proud of those.
I am
Alana?
at Charizard. It's my name in the middle of Charizard, and I can't talk about anything I'm working on right now.
Fair enough. Miranda?
I'm at Havoc Rose, and that's Havoc with a K, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter. Again, just check out our wikis because that'd be real cool. Working very hard on those. And then we also have a very cool Cowboy Bebop 20th anniversary photo gallery of this like really awesome cafe they put on. Not done by me, but by a freelancer. And if you like anime at all, please check that out.
I guess
Cool.
I could say we're doing another
Yeah.
live show in the office on the 29th of this month. It's for Beyond, but we will have an open office so you guys can come and hang out. The Eventbrite is, I think, eventbrite.beyondlive. Don't know about that part, but yeah, we'll follow up on how you can find those tickets. People have been tweeting them out, so
Google
you can
probably
find them
knows.
with Google.
Excellent. Brandon, take us home.
I am Brandon Tyrell on Twitter. It's just my name. And man, E3. Crazy, right? We're going to have a lot of fun. I just got done reviewing Vampire. So if you're at all interested in cool gothic horror, gothic RPGs, check out that review. I liked it. Has some problems, but I liked it. Other than that, I also can't talk about anything coming up in the next couple days for obvious reasons. So I'm stoked, man. Let's get this started.
Yeah, it'll be fun. All right, we'll see everybody at E3. The festivities start on IGN. Remember, we've got the chat on IGN.com. Watch it live, chat with everybody. So we're gonna start Saturday at.
We start Saturday at 10:30 a.m.
10:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's 1:30 Eastern time.
And that's the EA press conference. That's our first thing.
Yes.
And then, yeah, we'll see.
Outstanding.
The 4 of us
All right.
Xbox.
So we'll see everybody. We'll be in LA. Looking forward to it. Hope to meet a bunch of you as well. Have an awesome E3, whether you're there, whether you're watching. And we'll see you live pre-show. Let's give that
Sunday.
one time. Sunday.
12:30.
Thank you. And then post-show right after, which their thing is usually, an hour and a half, right?
So we're doing, we don't know exactly. And then we're doing part of a post-show, and then we have an interview about one of the currently unannounced video games that will be there, and then more post-shows. So it's going to be a big Xbox afternoon.
Yeah, stay with IGN during and after the Xbox conference on Sunday at 1 Pacific, and the pre-show at 12:30.
And then immediately following that, we're all going to go together to play a bunch of Xbox games.
That's right. The showcase.
That coverage will be up later in the day.
Yeah, stuff will be going up like all day and night that's specifically Xbox related. So can't wait. We'll see you there. Have a great E3, everybody.